Hi, everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Erin.
And I'm Elsie.
And I have a question, as always. Have you ever seen any wild animals? Not in the zoo, but in the wild, Elsie?
So not in the zoo, not on TV, but in the wild.
In real life, in the wild.
真的在野外 I've seen deer in the woods.
Okay.
In the States. And I've seen some turkeys too.
Oh, those wild turkeys.
Yeah, wild turkeys are
they're crazy.
angry all the time.
Yeah.
Have you seen any?
I've not seen any wild turkeys. I've just eaten turkey, but it's not wild.
I love eating turkey.
Yeah. I have seen some animals in the wild. I've seen a few bears from a car where I was safe, but I was once walking on a hiking trail in Canada, and I was talking to my friend, and we weren't really paying attention to the trail, and all of a sudden, she put her arm in front of me, and she stopped me, and I was like, what are you doing? And then I looked up, and we were just a few feet away from a big, gigantic moose.
Wow.
He was just standing in the trail. He was huge. Luckily, he was not angry. We just slowly backed away from him, and we waited for him to kind of move off the trail. It took maybe 20 minutes, but...
That was scary.
It was a little scary.
But cool.
It would have been scarier if he was sort of... if it was angry, like when they in a certain time of year when they're trying to find females, they get really angry.
Oh,
and
they need to fight with each other.
So luckily we didn't see him around that time. So we were okay, but it was kind of cool to see such a big animal up close like that.
So I guess we'll be talking about wild animals today.
Yeah, that's right. So today's article is all about a TV show that features a family who works with wild animals. In fact, you may have even heard about them before. They're pretty famous. So let's find out who they are.
Reading.
Crikey! It's the Irwins. Crocodiles are some of the most feared animals on our planet. But jumping on one's back was child's play to Steve Irwin. This famous Australian had fun with dangerous creatures on his TV show, The Crocodile Hunter. Steve's love of wild animals came from growing up around his family's business. His parents founded the Australia Zoo, and Steve and his wife eventually took over this sanctuary. They used the money from their TV show to add more open areas to the zoo where the animals roam free. Steve died in 2006 at the age of 44 when an ocean stingray stabbed him in the heart. Today, his family carries on his legacy on the Discovery Channel's Crikey, It's the Irwins. Steve's daughter, Bindi, starts off the show by introducing us to some of the zoo's 64 lovely koalas. Later, his son Robert steals the show as he feeds a hungry crocodile in front of a large audience.
All right, we're going to start out today's article not by talking about this famous family, but by talking about some of the animals they work with. It says, crocodiles are some of the most feared animals on our planet. Now, a planet is kind of like the Earth, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, those things that go around the sun, right? But here, when we talk about the planet or our planet, we're talking about Earth or the world that we live in. Now, usually when we use it in this sense, we're talking about something that has to do with or affects our environment in some way. So here, for example, we're talking about the animals of the world, which are part of the natural environment on our planet. Here's another example. If we want the resources on our planet to last, we need to change the way we live right away.
Planet 是星球的意思，那这边指的就是我们 Earth 地球。那我们还看到一个形容词叫做 feared， 这个是令人害怕的。所以文章今天的第一句话说，在我们的星球上，也就是 Earth 地球上，鳄鱼是最令人害怕的动物之一。I'm scared of crocodiles, are you?
I'm not scared of any animal per se. Like if I was out in the woods hiking in Canada, I might be scared of running into, depending where I am, a bear.
Bears?
Yeah. So then I would be maybe scared of a bear. But like, just in my daily life, I'm not really scared of wild animals.
So when you see bears' pictures, you don't feel anything.
No, I actually think bears are really cute. But like, I think wild animals are really amazing things. And
yeah, they are.
It's healthy to have a fear of them. But it can be unhealthy if you just start killing them because you're scared of them.
Right.
That's not a great thing to do. So I would be scared of a crocodile if a crocodile was 2 feet away from me. But just in general, not really. All right, back to our article. It says, but jumping on one's back was child play to Steve Irwin. You might recognize that name. We're going to find out why in a minute. But first, let's find out what child's play means. Now, we use the phrase child's play to show that something is easy to do. So, jumping on a crocodile's back is definitely not a way that children should play. Don't do that. We're just saying here that while some people might think jumping on a crocodile's back is crazy or stupid, which it is for most of us, it was very easy for this person, Steve Irwin.
所以呢 child's play 它指的是轻而易举的事情。课文中啊，我们还看到 one 这个字，它代表就是 a crocodile 一只鳄鱼。所以呢，对 Steve Irwin 来说，在鳄鱼的背上跳来跳去是一件轻而易举的事。So who was this brave guy?
Well, it says here in the article, this famous Australian had fun with dangerous creatures on his TV show, The Crocodile Hunter.
So his TV show's name was The Crocodile Hunter. 我们在这边呢看到同位语的用法哦。如果是非限定性的同位语啊，我们在提供的是额外的非必要资讯，通常呢会以逗号与先行词隔开，像是我们文章中的句子 This famous Australian had fun with dangerous creatures on his TV show 逗号 The Crocodile Hunter 那先行词就是 his TV show 同位语就是 Crocodile Hunter 那另外一种呢叫做限定性的同位语包含句子中的必要资讯用来限定先行词那是不用逗号的哦 For example, the medical journal Scientific Reports recently printed a study on a newly discovered human organ. 医疗期刊 Scientific Reports 最近出版一篇研究是关于一个新发现的人类器官那这边的 The Medical Journal 医疗期刊它是先行词哪一份医疗期刊呢我们要说清楚那就是 Scientific Reports 它就是限定期刊的同位语所以我们可以知道是名叫 Scientific Reports 的这一份期刊All right, let's get back to the article.
Okay, well, we're talking about Steve Irwin, this famous Australian from Crocodile Hunter. Now, it says here, Steve's love of wild animals came from growing up around his family's business.
原来他对野生动物的爱好跟家里的 family business 也就是家庭事业有关 What did his parents do?
Well, it says his parents founded the Australia Zoo, and Steve and his wife eventually took over this sanctuary. They didn't just wander around Australia until they found a zoo somewhere. What we're saying here is that his parents founded a zoo. Now, when you found something, you start or create a company, organization, school, or some other type of business or group for the first time. For example, this company, AMC, was founded by Peter Hsu in 1979. He started this company 40 years ago. Here's another example. Lee Byung-chul founded the large company Samsung in South Korea in 1938.
Found 它是一个原形动词哦代表的是创立那过去式呢跟过去分词我们在字尾加 ed 就可以了念作 founded 那另外一个字跟这个很像同学们常搞混的就是 find F-I-N-D 找到那它的三态呢是 find, found, found那这边说到Steve 的爸妈创立了澳洲动物园 and then Steve and his wife took over the zoo.
That's right. So what do you do when you take over? Well, when you take over something, you take control of it from somebody else. So Steve's parents started the zoo and controlled the zoo at first, but then Steve took control of the zoo from them and managed it instead of his parents. Here's another example. Gavin took over the cooking while his wife greeted their dinner guests and made them comfortable. So what we're saying here is that Gavin took over the cooking from somebody else. So first his wife was cooking, now Gavin is cooking.
So you can take over a zoo, 接管接手一间动物园 You can also take over a job, 接管一个工作 or take over a company, 接管一个公司。那我们这边还看到了 eventually 这个副词，它就是 finally 最后的意思。Steve 跟他的老婆最后接手了这个动物园。那在这边我们还用到了 sanctuary 这个字来指动物园。Sanctuary 它是庇护所的意思。So the zoo is like a sanctuary to the wild animals.
That's right. So sometimes we call places where we keep wild animals sanctuaries because it's like a place that they can be safe, maybe from hunters or illnesses, that sort of thing. All right, so in the article, it says they used the money from their TV show to add more open areas to the zoo where the animals roam free.
Roam这个动词是漫游闲晃的意思，所以他们用这个节目所赚来的钱为动物们增加了许多空间，让他们可以在里面漫游走动。So when we were talking about Steve and what he did, we used past tense because he's not alive anymore, right?
That's right. It says here in our article, Steve died in 2006 at the age of 44 when an ocean stingray stabbed him in the heart. Do you remember this story? I remember this story. I used to watch this show a lot.
I don't.
It made me really sad.
Aww.
All right. Well, what happened to him? An animal stabbed him. Now, the verb stab, when you're doing this, you push a knife or another very sharp object into something else, cutting it and injuring it or damaging it. Now, this is often done in a way that attacks something. For instance, you might hear about someone being stabbed on a crime show. Animals can sometimes stab other animals too, including humans, with their bodies. This is how they protect themselves from other animals or us. Here's an example. The police think the victims were stabbed with a sharp knife taken out of their kitchen.
Stab 这个动词是刺或是戳，通常是用刀子。过去式跟过去分词重复字尾 be 加 ed。那在2006年的时候，我们刚刚说到，也就是 Steve 44岁，他的心脏被轰于刺伤，然后过世。He passed away.
That's right. It was a very sad event, and I guess maybe more in Australia, in the US, in Canada. He was very, very loved by people who watched his show.
And very famous,
yeah,
right?
He did a lot of really good things with animals. That's not the end of the Irwin story, though. Fortunately, it says, today, his family carries on his legacy on the Discovery Channel's Crikey, It's the Irwins. Now, what are they doing? They are carrying on something. When you carry something on, you continue doing that thing or activity. So Steve can't keep working with animals, which was his legacy, but his family can. They can do it for him. Here's an example. Gwen's parents insisted that she carry on her studies, even though it would be difficult to pay for them.
Carry on 是继续的意思。Carry on something 那就是继续某件事。这边我们提到的 legacy 这个名词啊，它是遗产或是遗物。所以我们的文章说到今天呢 Steve 的家人继续了他生前所做的事。那在 Discovery 这个频道上面呢，有一个节目叫做《鳄鱼拍档这一家》。Can we see the zoo in the show?
Of course.
Woo!
Let's sort of meet some of Steve's family here.
Okay.
It says, Steve's daughter, Bindi, starts off the show by introducing us to some of the zoo's 64 lovely koalas. Now, we use the word introduce there. You're not going up to each koala and shaking its hand and saying, hello, it's nice to meet you. I'm Aaron. What's your name, Mr. Koala? That's kind of not what we're talking about here. When we're introducing something here, you're telling people about something for the first time. Now, of course, I've never met or heard about the Australia Zoo's koalas, so Bindi would be introducing these cute animals to me. Here's another example. I don't know anything about computer programming, so I'm going to watch some YouTube videos that introduce it to beginners like me.Introduce 这个动词啊，有使认识、使接触或是使体验的意思。那如果你听到人家对你说 Please introduce yourself， 那就是要你介绍你自己。
Or when you introduce a friend to a person, 那就是你介绍朋友给另外一个人认识。那在节目里面呢 Steve 他的女儿跟我们介绍了动物园里面的64只无尾熊 and these koalas are lovely.
That's right. Lovely is an adjective that we use to describe things that we think are pleasant, good, or attractive in some way. Now, of course, koalas are such cute animals. They're a great thing to describe with the word lovely. Here's another way to use it. These flowers smell lovely. Who did you receive them from?
Lovely 这个形容词呢是可爱的或是漂亮的。那我们也可以说cute koalas, lovely koalas.
Okay, so we've learned a little bit about Steve's daughter, or what her name was at least. Now let's find out about another person in his family. Later, his son Robert steals the show as he feeds a hungry crocodile in front of a large audience. Now we saw a phrase in there, or an idiom, steal the show. That is today's pocket phrase go, so we're going to take a quick break to learn more about that.
Pocket Phrase Go!
我强叔这么多年来办过多少演唱会，什么大风大浪没见过。但是最近几次演唱会找了个年轻美眉来当嘉宾，没想到她唱得太好了 ，She totally stole the show。一方面呢，我很为她开心；一方面又觉得我才是主角。哎呀，我的心情真是复杂。Steal 这个动词呢，就是偷哦，把什么东西偷走了呢 ？Steal the show， 把这个 show 给偷走了，就表示呢他变成主角了，大出风头。例如呢，在舞蹈比赛当中哦 ，That young dancer really stole the show tonight。那年轻的舞者今晚可是大出风头了呢。
So, who is watching Robert as he feeds a hungry crocodile? Well, that's an audience. Audience is a group of people who watch a show or other type of performance. So here in the TV show, a big group of people would be watching Robert feed a crocodile. That's a type of performance. And in a zoo setting, it's called a feeding. That's what this performance is called. Here's another example for audience. The whole audience stood and clapped at the end of the school play.
Audience 这个名词呢是观众或是听众。那我们文章说到的 a large audience 那就是一大群的观众。Steve 的儿子呢在节目里面因为喂食鳄鱼而大出风头。大出风头我们就用到了 Pocket Phrase Go 里面的 steal the show. Wow, so his daughter and son are doing what he used to do.
That's right. They're continuing on his work or his legacy.
Legacy.
All right, well, we have come to the end of today's article. We've met Steve's family. Tomorrow, we're going to talk more about the animals they care for, so come back for that then. But for now, let's finish off with today's For You Chat.
For You Chat.
Here's a good question for us. Do you have a favorite animal? What is the most dangerous animal you know about?
I don't have a favorite animal because I'm not an animal lover.
Okay, that's fine.
But I do know some of the most dangerous animals in the world, like jellyfish, pufferfish, and of course, crocodiles and sharks.
I'm going to have to fight you on that shark one, Elsie.
I know some sharks are nice. I know if we don't attack sharks, sharks won't attack us.
They're not actually dangerous. They're only dangerous if you're kind of like in the water and bleeding, and sharks don't eat humans. They might kind of like if you're in their face sort of thing, and they might come up, they might bite you, but then they say, oh, human is gross, and so they kind of go off. So I kind of have this problem with the whole sharks are dangerous thing. Go watch Shark Week on TV. It's really great.
Okay, I will.
My favorite animal, probably if I had to choose a wild animal, would be the platypus.
Platypus?
Do you know that one?
Sounds familiar. Can you describe this animal?
Well, it's a weird Australian animal that looks kind of like...
Is it in the cartoon TV show?
I don't know.
The green thing?
It kind of has like a a weird duck speak.
啊，鸭嘴兽
With like beaver, like a beaver tail, and it swims under the water, but it kind of can be above the water too. It's really strange.
And I've learned it's not a mammal, right?
It is a mammal.
It is a mammal.
But it's a kind of weird animal, or weird mammal. So the mothers lay eggs.
Oh, yes.
But the babies drink milk. So it's kind of this strange
like
sort
have,
of mammal.
Okay. I think
right.
I know which animal you're talking about.
That's my favorite one. There's lots of dangerous animals out there, but I mean, they're really only dangerous if we come into contact with them, so we should probably just leave them alone. That's my kind of thing. I guess
just leave them alone. We don't have to bother them, and they won't bother us.
Yeah. Well, the most dangerous animal I can think of is the hippo, actually.
Come on, really?
Yeah, because they have really, really strong jaws, and they can bite a human in half. Actually, hippos kill about 100 people a year. So if we're talking about dangerous animals, it's probably that one.
But it's hard to imagine hippos are dangerous.
Yeah, they're cute, but they've got a powerful jaw and they can get really angry. They don't actually eat humans either because they only eat plants, but hippos can get really angry
and
really quickly
humans.
and attack humans, yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, that's us. What kind of other animals out there do you like or do you think that are dangerous? You guys can talk about that. We'll be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Crikey! It's the Irwins. Crocodiles are some of the most feared animals on our planet, but jumping on one's back was child's play to Steve Irwin. This famous Australian had fun with dangerous creatures on his TV show, The Crocodile Hunter. Steve's love of wild animals came from growing up around his family's business. His parents founded the Australia Zoo, and Steve and his wife eventually took over this sanctuary. They used the money from their TV show to add more open areas to the zoo where the animals roam free. Steve died in 2006 at the age of 44 when an ocean stingray stabbed him in the heart. Today, his family carries on his legacy on the Discovery Channel's Crikey, It's the Irwins. Steve's daughter, Bindi, starts off the show by introducing us to some of the zoo's 64 lovely koalas. Later, his son Robert steals the show as he feeds a hungry crocodile in front of a large audience.
Vocabulary Review.
Planet. The pollution we put into the air is harmful to everyone on the planet. Found. The country of Canada was founded in 1867 when it formed its first government. Stab. David went to the hospital after a robber stabbed him with a knife. Introduce. Jonathan wanted to find a girlfriend for me, so he introduced me to his classmate Cindy. Lovely. My daughter looked young and pretty in the lovely dress she chose for her wedding. Audience. As Freddie played guitar in the street, a small audience gathered to listen and throw coins in his hat.
智慧小补帖
Eventually. Sanctuary. Rome. Legacy.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net